Hi, my name is Allanah, and I'm the author of a book about reckoning with our past, taking responsibility for the present, and imagining a better future. This book explores the intersection of race, class, gender, sexuality, religion, ability, size, and age in the context of America's current socio-political landscape. I specifically dig deep into the experiences of women and trans people of all demographics who grew up in small, rural areas and attend Ivy League institutions like Harvard, uncovering what people misunderstand about each other and what guides us all, regardless of our complex identities. Growing up in a very white, Christian, conservative, and rural area on unceded indigenous land, I was raised to think a certain way about the world and the place I occupy in it. Explicitly and implicitly, I was told that if I or anyone worked hard, I could build a better life for myself. I believed in an America that was a great country of freedom for all, and was taught to have faith in my family, God, and my community. As I grew older, I realized that there were inconsistencies in my passed down ideology. I've always been a voracious reader, and I started reading more about the world outside my bubble. I learned bit by bit what feminism actually was, that racism was a real thing, and that many of the things I'd been taught were causing harm to people all over the country and world. I went off to college, already the liberal that my parents feared I'd become, and realized within a few months that being a liberal wasn't good enough either. Liberals too perpetuated cycles of harm that I wanted nothing to do with, and I started to realize that there was no way to fix the system. My perspective is very unusual, because it's not common that someone grows up in a rural community, graduates in a class of 19 people, and flies on a plane for the first time in their life as they head off to Harvard University. Neither of my parents went to a 4-year college, and no one from my town outside of my family has ever gone to an Ivy League. Whether I was at home or at college, I've always been a bit out of place. While writing this book, I've tried to balance the frustrating experiences I've had at the hands of an elitist institution with the harm that I've caused as a privileged person in America. I tell the truth about my mistakes and weaknesses because I believe that glossing over them would be a disservice to all of us. I hope that people who read my story are able to see that everyone has room for growth and deserves kindness. More importantly, though, I hope that people who recognize that they're perpetuating some of the harm I point out deeply reflect and put an end to that behavior, for their sake and all of ours. My hope for this book is that people like me, my family, my high school and college classmates, and anyone else who genuinely cares about building a better world gains an understanding of the complex reality of relationships, politics, and being a human in a country designed to mold us into unfeeling productivity machines. You will love this book if you're a young person struggling to find your socio-political identity in this time of constant upheavals, if you're an adult trying to understand the younger generation or wondering what you can really do to help, and if you're a person who wants to be inspired and know that you can move beyond your past as long as you keep your eyes on the future. Writing this book has been a journey unlike any other. I have been so privileged to have this opportunity to reflect on the first 20 years of my life, remembering what got me to where I am and admitting the many ways I have misstepped. Directly learning from the women I've interviewed and being inspired by their visions of the future is something I do not take for granted, and I am beyond thankful for each person who has directly and indirectly supported me on this journey.